Hello, welcome to Fahrenheit Performance Podcast, episode number 103. Dalvin Koh,
Hi,
welcome to the podcast.
thanks Martin for having me.
You are a 30-year-old natural cyclist.
Yes.
You're a pharmacist, went to convenient
Yeah.
at the time being.
Yeah.
You just came back from the SEA Games,
Yes.
and you're a vintage bike lover.
Yeah, I
Can you say that?
yeah. Before I started racing bikes, I was collecting bikes during COVID.
You know, the funny thing is when I do a deep dive behind it in everyone's social media before each episode, and I was looking back, I commented on one of your posts from like 5 years ago, as I recall. Yeah, and I'm like, oh my god, because I had a Serota bike,
Yes.
and then you posted about you had a Serota bike as well. Do you still have it?
I sold it to a Taiwanese guy. Too many bikes and I needed to streamline.
Okay, yeah, and I was just like, I came across, I was like, oh, this is a cool bike, and then I looked down, oh, I posted, I commented on this
Yes.
like ages ago, like 5 years ago. How are you?
I'm good. Just got back from the SEA Games, trying to recalibrate.
Yeah, welcome to the off season.
Oh man, it couldn't come soon enough.
Is it? So obviously, SEA Games is your A race of the year, and your whole year has been building towards it.
Interestingly, we weren't confirmed. It wasn't a confirmed thing
Okay.
until like maybe August.
Okay, but what I mean is like you're trying to make the team, and then the masters you want to hit, and then the ultimate goal, the final boss is SEA Games, right?
That was the idea.
So now, game over, SEA Games is done. It's just like a big release, and you got nothing planned for the next few weeks at least, I think.
I felt empty.
Yeah.
But right after SEA Games, the day after, I had no work. And I was just at home and I had nothing to do. And I was like, man,
What next?
yeah, I was just kind of confused, a little bit depressed.
I'm sure a lot of athletes get that, or like when an athlete retires when they're at the best, like you win a championship, retire. It must be such a weird feeling, not going to training and not having anything to do the next day.
Yeah, so like your goals are not.
Yeah. So Dalvin, I'll briefly introduce you. Why don't you just tell us a little bit about yourself? From what I've heard, because I've only just met you, right? You're one of the hardest workers in the peloton. You're very, very motivated at your training, and you are taking over the best hair of the national team from Boone and Afan Faizo.
So little hair. Hair?
Yes.
Okay.
So let's say, how would your friends describe you?
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh wow. I'm pretty new to the scene, so I think I'm a French guy.
Yeah.
And I'm always smiling.
Yeah.
I'm not too serious about most things. So
It was funny. I was looking through your Facebook and Instagram this morning, and you've been running for a while, right? But it only seemed like you buckled down a lot serious in the past maybe 2 years. Is that a fair assessment?
yeah. I was riding. Then I think through uni I stopped riding for a bit, but mostly just casual rides. COVID I picked it up, but interested in like vintage bikes, mostly like vintage American bikes.
Yeah.
Then 2022 I did my first race in I think it was the crib race at First City.
Oh, yeah. The one that was what you okay, here. I did some bad things like that.
Well, pretty like come from.
It was on top of the car park, right?
There was like a lot of potholes that lighted that day as well. Friends just edged me on, and I was like, okay, just try for fun.
Yeah.
I think I was third coming to the final line. Then I crashed out.
Uh,
Then I was like, oh man.
could have you
Yeah, I
get
got on a podium.
Yeah.
I think that was my first bit of racing. Then I did Le Top Zaru 2022.
Okay.
That was my first proper grand fondo with like hundreds of riders.
Were you training like for bike back then, or were you talking about stabilize and stuff?
I was just riding and just having fun. And I found that, whoa, shit, this is fun.
Yeah.
I'd never had that kind of thrill in my life.
Yeah.
I think I did like top 50. I mean, not a shout about it was fun. I enjoyed being around with the peloton, cruising at like 40 plus kms
I think that's a good spark because you get top 50, you're not really training. Then in the back being money, think, if I hadn't done training, if I had done a proper preparation, what could have been?
It all starts from there.
Yeah, right there. So was that kind of flip the switch for you, and then you sort of started doing your homework and
Not yet. I was still like kind of intimidated by the whole scene. But interestingly, at Desaru, I met a bunch of guys from Matador
Okay.
at after party.
Yeah.
And Dave Chung, one of the guys overweight from Methodol.
Yeah.
He actually like asked me to come along.
Right.
Yeah. I didn't take his offer yet because I was still like, nah, sounds too intimidating for me. I just felt like
Some of those things have like a certain number of race days you have to do a year, and that sort of stuff. So yeah, as a newbie or as a novice cycling, oh shit,
it was too intimidating to get me.
But that's the team that you currently ride for.
Yes. I've been with them since. So I mean, after that, I did Lucas Highway. I think towards the end of the year.
Okay.
Gone to a breakaway, then got bullied in the breakaway. Like, I think it was the breakaway, so like
They made you to take too many turns or something.
they didn't want to let me like come back. They kept like very aggressive, and I was like, oh,
In Malaysia, right?
yeah, in Malaysia. Then I think that was when like, kind of like, I realized that maybe I need a team.
Yeah. There's a privateer out there.
So then that weekend, I think I said I'm gonna join Methodol on Steadily Rides. It was not easy. Started with pack 2, then slowly worked my way up to like pack 1, and then back then, Steadily Rides were hammer rides. It was not like it was just a hammer session for like 4 hours.
It wasn't like 45 minutes or sort of easy. There's entry come, you hammer, and then it's just like all the way. Nice.
And it was like Matt Britton,
Alpha.
Alpha, so all the heavy hitters.
Yeah.
So I did not know anything about nutrition. I did not know anything about how to pace myself.
Yeah.
I loved it. Yeah. So like 6 months of
Nice. Like
kind of just
stuck hard loss.
in the.
I had a bike kid once, and his whole he normally the bike kid is that I got pain in the knee or I want to do this race. His whole the whole purpose of the fit was to not get dropped from the screw right? And that was exactly that, right? Every single time he'd go out, he'd get habit, and we get dropped, and we get disgruntled, and he come back and do it again, and then like a few months after he came in, I pulled him up and today, how's it going? He goes, I made it all the way down to Nutricon without 3 jobs. Also, so yeah, so I guess School of Hard Knocks, you've got you there. You and then after a while, you do hang on for the whole ride, I guess.
Yeah, I guess I slowly got the hang of it. It was never easy though. I always Friday night I would have like nightmares about Saturday morning. But I think that really sparked the whole racing passion.
So before that, on a typical week, we were maybe riding with mates on the Saturday, Sunday, maybe one day during the week.
Maybe twice in a weekday.
Yeah.
I used to ride with WCR.
Okay.
On Wednesdays and I guess on Mondays as well. Yeah. Then Fridays maybe just do a casual ride if I have time.
Yeah.
Back then I was working full time, so still trying to squeeze all in. Then Saturday, Sundays are the longer ride. But no structured training, no nothing.
Yeah. So once you joined the team, how did that change, and how fast was that ramp up to?
That's 20. So I joined in like early 2023. Did a couple of races with Methodol. I think the OCDC Speedway, the Tabalaka, all the usual local races that most Singaporeans would go to. Then I think the year end I did Masters Tour. No, not yet. I did Tour of Phuket. And that was my first
This is still 2022,
2023. Yeah, so
basically just two years ago, right?
yeah. So Tour of Phuket, that was my first stage race. Yeah. Then I think at the turn of 2023, I realized that okay, if I'm gonna treat this if I'm gonna spend money a race,
Yeah.
I better take it seriously. I don't wanna like
Let's waste my time again. Yeah.
So 2020, I think at the towards the tail end of 2023, I bought a trainer. And then I started on trainer road. Then I realized okay,
To this handle board.
yeah, like really toy for the complete beginner.
Yeah.
It gives you that structure.
Yeah.
And I was just sticking to it for like 2-3 months, always indoors at home, very efficient.
Yeah.
And then I saw a big change in my capabilities.
Okay.
Then I was like, oh, okay. Then I did it going good. Yeah. Then I spoke to Arfan at the start of 2024. We were talking about training and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I always knew he had this coach, poweredbyfahrenheitperformance, radar. And it was kind of interesting.
Yeah.
He was like telling me about it as well. And I didn't take got the offer yet because I was like, oh man, do I really want to pay for the Adam get back? That's a big set. Trainer was like what, $20 a month? That's as much as I wanted to pay. Then then I think March that in 2024 I said okay, let's do it. I'm just gonna all in meet the coach, meet William, and then let's see how it goes. So we met for Laksa, and he was telling me about his training program and stuff like that, and he sold it to me. And sold me the idea of national team.
So that was almost 2 years ago. About 18 months ago.
March 2024. Okay. So it's about 1.5 years. Yep. Yeah. I was like, okay. I was skeptical.
He sold it to you, but were you confident that you'd make it, or did you, were you like, give it a go, or?
I was excited, but I was a little bit skeptical, but I didn't want to take too much. I just want to like get the training done. And then we'll see where it takes me. I mean, national team thing was not really in my mind. I was just like, whatever. Just race and have fun. So, then did more races that year. I think I did a lot of races that year. And that was the year that I was going to leave work, regardless. Because my bond ends in September. So I kind of knew like, okay, September, I'm going to take it out of it. And I'm going to be like racing. So I did. I went to Chiang Mai for 2 weeks to do like long hours there. I was like, just right.
About the training camp there.
No, I kind of mini training kind of myself. Rode with a couple of guys, locals that had the same. I mean, they were there in Chiang Mai. I met up with some national guys. I think Afan Ria. He was there as well.
So they have a agreement with hotels over there, right?
So so I think lots of locals were there. That's convenient. Did 2 weeks there. Came back. Did tour Batam, and that was when Mark Chadwick he asked if I wanted to go for trials. I thought, well, okay, sure.
Like as a like a trial national team run.
Yeah, I think there was trials the following week after the tour of Batam.
Okay.
And he asked if I was keen to do the trials, and I was like, sure. I mean, this was what I planned to do. It just came sooner than I expected. Okay, let's give it a go and see where I set on the national boys.
Is that so you went to the stadium and got on the watt bikes? Is that?
No, it was a 4-day trial. So normally before national team races, like thing like in Siak in Tour Thailand, there'll be 4-day trials.
Okay.
So like they do, and day 1, day 2 was like points race.
Oh, okay.
So intermediate.
So it's actually real life
thing scenarios.
There's 5-10 years ago, before COVID, the national team selections was a lot of it was car based, and when you do car profile test, the 5-minute test, and then there were check where your FTP is, and you.
I think it still is. It's just that I think for me it was just going through the trials. I wasn't really in the national team yet. It was just to see where but I think every year they do have the NDS trials. I think they just had.
It's like it's almost like to catch the canoeist who has a lot of potential. Not necessarily.
You do a 4-5 minute test. Or something. I'm not fast. Oh wait, they still do the 4-day trials, but I think they do further power tactic uplet into things to see their baseline. Maybe.
So then, I guess this time last year, you were knocking on the national team door already.
I think our dinner around was, I mean, not really very prominent in the scene, but I guess Tour Batam, I was with the break with the national guys. Then I think maybe Mark saw then break boot, and I saw maybe this guy. Okay.
So then when was the first real national team race?
So I did the trials, 4-day trials, and then a few weeks later, I think I got the notification that I was selected.
Cool. And then by this time you were you weren't working full time anymore.
I left work around September, October. So my plan was actually to find full time work at the start of the new year. So like Jan 2020.
Okay.
And so I was just having fun, right?
So you had like a 3-month gap.
3-month gap without any like long term plan per se. Just wanna honestly my main goal was actually to travel. then all these things came up.
You did travel. It's just like
I did.
I believe what it is you're in.
Yeah, but my idea was actually to do like bikepacking.
Yeah. Oh, nice.
Bikepacking style and just like not think about training.
Yeah.
But then these opportunities came along the way. I just took things one at a time.
Yep.
So there was Siak. We did it in I think November, late November. Yeah. That was my first experience with racing internationals.
Okay.
It's not an easy race for me. Maybe for some of the other guys, maybe it's slightly easier because they did in a proper UCI race.
Yeah.
But to be racing with like the elite from the region,
Yeah.
to like think Siap had like in Malaysia.
It's like a CK race every weekend. Like every tour, it's like another CK. Right?
Yeah. So I think Siap was mostly more Malaysian, three national teams, I guess, and some Indonesian continental teams, and I think a couple of Malaysian teams. So concentrated within the region.
Yeah.
But by no means easy.
So how did you do in those first races?
Wow.
Was you always like spat out the back every single race, or were you holding your own, or was it?
Nah. It was a difficult race.
Baptism of fire sort of.
Yeah. I think safe one. Mark told me not to go back for feeds. Told me to just let the other boys do the work.
Yeah.
And for me, the goal was to survive.
Yeah.
Well, I didn't quite listen to him. I went back for a feed. And then I crashed.
Oh god.
Yeah, because I think I didn't know how to stiffy bottle, right?
Yeah.
I think I.
A spin mobile or something.
Yeah. Then I crashed. Then I think in the last 15Ks alone, I'm gonna come back to because for UCI stage races, if you don't finish the race by a certain tip, then
Like you have to say, yeah.
so that was like the worst case scenario for me.
That's why the group battle with the like in those big set in like the world tour races, they actually said very hard to be in the group battle because they sprinting at the end to make cut.
To make time cut, yeah. So I made the time cut, then stage 2 and 3 was uneventful, but Thomas did very well. He got GT second.
Oh, nice.
So yeah, proud of the guy. Yeah.
So then, how long along this journey did you sort of feel like you'd earned your spot in the national team, and you were fighting to stay on, so to speak?
Well, I think it's over the process. I was just working on myself. I wasn't thinking too much about what I could do or what I can do. I just knew that okay, now the steps over, new season. What do I want to do? Yeah, and I realized that I don't want to go back to what just there.
So that was the beginning this year.
This was the beginning of this year. Okay, and so Tour of Thailand trials are coming up in February.
Yeah.
So I was working towards it.
Okay.
I think Tour of Thailand is typically the hardest stage race that we do as a national team. So I think,
and it's in the location or the country of SEA Games that's coming up in 10 months time or whatever, right? So it's really a good one for everyone to go to.
Correct. And I've heard like stories from the national team boys about Tour of Thailand. That this mythical, there's this it was a very hard race. So I've heard horror stories, and I thought, okay, if I want to do more races with the national team, I gotta get into the key for the Nepal for Tour of Thailand. So so I worked towards that, and I think I did fairly decent for the trials. Got the team. And then that was another 6 stages of hell.
Yeah, correct. Yeah, it's like the prize is actually more difficult than the lead up to it.
Yeah. So in the lead up to it, I was talking to my coach. I was telling him, we were communicating about how our train, what were the things that we wanted to work on after my experience with Siap. So it's a two-way competition. Did more long rides because Tour of Thailand was like 6 stages of 156 each.
Yeah, pretty good like block of stage racing. It's not like 3-day tour of Bintan and one of them's a time trial. Yeah. And
it says like do your nutrition properly. You're gonna always
recover and rest.
So everything has to be top notch. If not, you're gonna suffer the next day. Yeah. Whereas Siak is 3 days. It gives you time to. It's not as critical as like a 6 day.
Or even if 3 days, you just hammer it out for 3 days in a row. You can collapse on the 4th day, but you can't do that with 6-day racing. You do the gauge your effort, meter your effort, right?
And I think the start list for Tour of Thailand was the hardest ever. There were a couple of so there was Battle, the Asian, and then there was some European X Pro.
Nice.
There's like European Pro. Yeah, I think there was the X Local Pro R Hero from Varian.
Okay.
And so there were a couple of teams that had foreign imports, and they were driving the race. They were controlling every aspect of the race.
Yeah.
So, I was struggling with
You're like,
yeah. Yeah, but well, good experiences. You know, when you realize, I mean, personally for me, you may be a certain caliber in Singapore.
Yeah.
But when you go out to these races, you realize,
welcome to the real world.
yeah, you can be a big fish with a small pond in Singapore, but out there.
Yeah, there's a lot of big fish, right?
Yeah. A lot of bigger fishes, yeah, and sometimes it's just very humbling.
Yeah.
Because this sport, not many people understand the sport. People think of the racing as like, first, second, third.
Yeah.
But in a
But you could come last, but have done so much during the race, and it doesn't show anything on the result sheet.
Yeah, but I think coming to the sport of cycling, most people should understand that it's a team event. So I think the big picture here is if there's a rider that can feel the view, and that's the best.
It's like everyone has a common goal. It's like everyone at the team is pulling the elastic for the slingshot, and then you put the one rider in there, and then you all let go, and then he's the one that goes up for the finals. Let's talk about training for a second. So once you jumped on with Powered Performance, did you see your level go even higher, as faster rate, or was it just like stay the course?
Okay. Wow. I mean, there were a couple of jumps. I think with the coach, you don't have to do the hard work on thinking how should I be training. Your coach settles it for you, and you trust it because he's done the work.
Yeah.
You just have to follow the plan. So
you trust yourself that you're paying someone to do a job, and he's doing the job.
Right at this, yeah, for sure. And you don't question it because he knows what he's doing. Because once you start questioning, I mean, it's okay to question it, but it's always a two-way conversation. But once you don't trust, then you don't do it.
Yeah. Or you don't put the effort in.
Yeah. Right? So I think I always make it a point to have that conversation with him. That I don't understand this, don't understand that. This thing's too hard. What can we do to make it?
How many people are on board with Fodio?
I don't know the exact numbers. Okay, so he talked about when we first started training with him. When I first started training him in April last year, he talked to me about this prospect of a podium decentralized project that he was keen to start. So basically it was to support riders who wanted to race in the local scene and get them tied in with a bunch of sponsors and support. So Polygon with Rodalink, and then there was Attitude Bikes, Mechanic Services
For most, but they hold up backup mountain bike.
Yes, I think, but back then, I think Morten from Attitude Bikes, he already had a road tee. So he was kind of keen on dabbling into the scene. Yeah, so I think that was a good opportunity for him to come on board the road tee. And I think if you can do mountain bike, road is beautiful. Yeah. So I think it was, there were other batch of sponsors as well that accessories.
But now, like, you and I found like twinsies, right? You got the same bikes, you're the team.
But there's a couple of guys who has the same bikes as well. I think there's Jason with Eraser's Master, and then there's Born.
Okay.
The younger boys, mountain biker. I think he won all the head trends this year.
Oh, nice.
So quite a couple of guys about the program.
So how many hours a week are you including training?
It depends on block. In the lead up to Tour of Thailand, I think I was doing 20-hour weeks. Because, you need that, a lot of positions. Then towards Net Chance, I think I was still going at it for like 20-hour weeks. Then, actually it was like 16, 20-hour weeks throughout the year. So, yeah.
So 16 would be a low week, and then 20. But how much of that is intensity? How much of that is just volume? Are you generally more of a sort of a intensity and interval sort of training, or is it?
Yes. So quite a bunch of intensity. Normally he gives me 3 sets of intervals to do across the week. So I clean it up myself. Okay, see when I want to do this.
What's a typical week for you? Is it do you have any lot off days?
So during the time I'm still working, but as a locum pharmacist. So very thankful that my boss is super flexible and get schedule. Yeah. So I do like 3 days a week. Then the rest of the days I write. Okay, so Tuesdays I normally do a set that involves like 1, 2 minute, 3 minute, kind of powers, intervals. Then I top it up with bass. Then Wednesdays, Thursdays, do another set. Normally there's another set that's like more like anaerobic, 15, 30, 45 second sprints.
Yep.
Then there's another set that I normally do that's a little bit more like threshold workouts, that longer top base intervals.
Yep. So a little bit of just a little bit on the FTP or just like harder, like longer efforts.
Yeah. So I guess that helps build the engine as well.
And then weekends is like group rise, right? Right.
Yeah. So weekends is Saturday I ride with Kataro. Yeah, he's rides long base racks. And Sunday, since the start of the year, I've been doing crazies. With most of the crazies and outside. So that's like the race simulation workout.
Yep.
Yeah.
Then during the week, are you indoors or are you outdoors?
During the week, especially if I'm working, I normally do it indoors. Especially if it's hard intervals. Something is just safer.
Yeah, for sure. It's like if you have an hour's worth of intervals to do, right? And you're doing it outdoors, you might have to ride an hour to get to the hour.
Yeah.
And then there's traffic lights, and then your heart rate to a 1 minute threshold, and then there's an orange light or whatever, right? So
yeah, I think I like it to be very efficient. I'm a bit OCD about the power. So if I'm outdoors, can't hit a certain power because of this and that.
Yeah.
Get very frustrated with myself.
Yeah.
And then it's just bad energy. So sometimes in the essence of time I do it indoors.
Yeah.
But of course there's pros and cons to indoors, outdoors.
Yeah.
Sometimes when I'm too tired to do it indoors, I'll just go out and do it.
Yeah. So you handle that as well, right? Yeah.
I mix it up with it.
It feels like it's been ages since I rode cyclist on. I guess the last one was Arfan and Braden, right? Yeah. That must have been 20 episodes ago because like you guys all have the same sort of mindsets on how when you run, how you structure your weeks and stuff like that. How about this? Someone told me that you're super meticulous and consistent with your training, right? So what keeps you, is that just your personality or is that, or do you know if you don't stay consistent, you're gonna slack off or like, but why?
Interesting. I think I had the big goal in mind. I mean, there was like Siap, 12 Thailand, Net Champs, like SEA Games, all nicely blocked out for me.
Yeah.
And I knew that I'm 30, I'm not going to be in this for long, right? I had small goals that I wanted to accomplish.
Yeah.
So I think that helped me. I mean, of course, I had the benefit of working locum. So I had time to play around in a way. So I had the nice mix of having some income and training.
Yeah.
So it's like best of both worlds. So
Yeah.
So I think that helps me to shape my objectives.
And I guess if you're not working full time, you wouldn't necessarily have a late night at work or like a, and you can structure your training around a little bit easier, right?
Yeah, I mean, as a pharmacist, it's 9 to 5, so it's quite fixed. Though I don't have a problem with. Yeah, I mean, I cut out all late nights since I started racing. No drinking, no nothing. Okay, yeah. I cleaned up my diet.
Yeah.
So I think it's great. Right? So when you're full.
So you said you clean up your diet, right? What does that mean? Like what sort of diet do you have now?
Okay, not that keen either, but yeah, I mean, I used to be more.
Didn't care.
I'm more choosy now with my diet. Yeah, I used to like eat more like burgers and stuff. But yeah, more often than not. Like, I think before I started racing, I was also like, deer was like kind of common, like maybe 1 or 2 a week with friends, early night, late night.
No, you want to drink it at all?
Yeah, I mean, it's not that I've always been drinking. It's just like I don't need it. Yeah, it affects my sleep. So,
So you're pretty plain eater. You
I wouldn't say I'm the cleanest eater, but I am more choosy.
Yeah.
So kind of know what to avoid.
How about recovery? So you're doing 20 hours a week, right? When you're not working out, are you ice bathing? Are you got boots? Do you get running massages?
I think that's where I probably need to back up on the recovery portion.
Yeah.
I think I'm eating okay. I mean, standard protein powder and stuff like that. But I think I can work on the stretching and the post ride recovery. I think that's the parts that I have not been focusing on. Okay, you can ride for hours, but you don't want to do 10 minutes of stretching and recovery. So like, I got all sorts of problems. I think there's the boys in the national team know like my boys have like back problems and this and that. So I think I'm gonna take the next 2-3 weeks to
just you have to detox your body and get it right. So you just came back from SEA Games, and you're a road rider, right? So you in individual road race, I'm assuming. They had four medals, right? They had individual time trial, team time trial, individual road race, and team road race. So which ones were you in?
So I was in the team time trial.
Yeah.
And then I was in the road race, which had 2 medals.
Yeah.
The individual was
Okay, so tell us about the team time trial. How did it go for you guys?
okay. Team time trial was interesting because it involved the 17, 18 km flat bit and then a 30 km climb.
Oh, what?
Yeah. You should say no. You should very far out about the course. So it was interesting because it's a race that you have to be aero because there's the flat bit. You have to be light.
Yeah. So if this was like in the Giro, for example, there'll be a station where everyone will be swapping their bikes with the time trial bikes and
that is an interesting question. That's an interesting point because initially we thought the initial route was supposed to be a 70 km time trial or something. Yeah, so it's like a 40 km flat and then 30 km we did climb. So we were thinking of actually swapping bikes.
yeah.
But then like 1-2 months before, then we found out they updated the route and just a shorter bit.
So you all just rode like I said.
Now we rode time trial bikes.
Even the 30 kilometer.
Yeah, so you have to. So some of us swapped out the disc wheels. We changed chainring to a smaller one.
Yeah.
Bigger shape bed.
Okay.
So more climbing friendly. Easier. We need to have the gear ratio to spin on the flat.
Yeah, but the bike is so much heavier as well.
It is. Equipment is difficult. Time trial bikes are expensive.
Yeah.
And so we made do with what we had. We tried to optimize on it. Yeah.
And what was your final placing for the team?
We were 6th out of 6.
Oh.
Okay. So it was difficult because we didn't have a mountain to climb.
Yeah.
What was it?
You can't do my favor.
Yeah.
Not in the same.
Correct. So our trainings for the team time trial we had it in two parts in the week. So on Wednesdays we did the climbing portion virtually.
Yeah, I was gonna say the only way you could do it would be like
virtually. You put the GPS.
But even with the virtually, did you incline your bike on your trailer?
That's something that we can improve on. I'll think about it as well. Because the climbing position couldn't be different.
Yeah, because you incline your bike on the track. Because even if it was flat and you just ramp up the resistance, it's not quite
frustrating. Yeah, I agree with that. But I guess always improvements to that. I think team time trial is also a very new event.
Yeah.
And I guess coming up the trainings was probably there to I guess the coaches had to think of how to best optimize everybody because we couldn't do a training camp this year as well. Overseas training camp because some of the boys were in NS, INS, so limited resources.
And it's funny, right? This SEA Games, the one beef that I have with the SEA Games is that the host country, it's not like the Olympics where there's a set, I don't even know, 300 sports, right? And you have to do, everyone has to do, or if you choose not to, you don't have to, but it's 300 sports. But SEA Games seems to be like, they just choose whatever they want to stack the course or the sports to stack them in their favor, right? So obviously Thailand probably has good climbers, so they put a 30 kilometer kind of climb at the end of the race, right? So did they win?
The team time trial Indonesia won. Surprising, but I mean we all knew the first two was going to be either Thailand or Indonesia. But the Indons, the Jimmy Asian, they did very well.
Yeah.
So kudos to them.
I think Indonesia has been putting a lot of money into sport. They did very well in the triathlon as well. They've been doing pretty well in a lot of sports. It's suddenly coming out of nowhere.
And that's also
So then road race, what was your role and how did you guys do?
Okay, so road race was 130 km flat, 40 km climb.
But
Sorry.
the climb is at the end again.
Yes, it goes up the same hill that we climbed in the Ping Pang Trail, and then there's a right turn, and then it goes up a couple of sweep backs, so like 10% to here.
So it's like a clean stage of a stage race, is that right? What was your role? Were you supposed to be in the attacks or what were you doing? Okay, so because a lot of people think of road cycling as also like first, second, third on the podium, and everyone is just trying to be first, second, third. But in reality, it's team sport, and everyone has a different role to do, and you might look like you look at the result sheet, might look like you suck, but it's actually because you gave it all out effort at the very end, and then you just drop all the way back, right? For example, right? So what were you doing in the road race? Were you the sort of the GC guy, or did you have a role to play?
Okay, so I think before the start of the road race, we all had this conversation. What do we want to do for the team? I think we all aligned, and that's the best part, that we all aligned and knew who we were working for. I think it was a very clear cut. We were going to work for Tony.
Okay.
Thomas from Mads. He's our best climber.
Yeah.
So that's great, because when everyone's aligned,
Yeah.
no egos, no nothing, no...
There's been
No,
not recently, but like 10 years ago, the Singapore cycling team, they had some pretty big dust ups because of egos and politics and stuff. Yeah.
Okay, I'm not familiar with that, but I'm happy that this didn't exist in our team. So we had a chat about it. Everyone was aligned. So Arfan and Imon were the guys to respond to attacks. So go into the breaks. And then myself and Willie, we were more like the engines, and to like kind of like reel the brakes back is the breakaway was not.
So if I found the A11 in the brakes, your role was to catch brakes.
Depends. I mean, it depends who's in the selection and the breakaway. So we had a list of names that we were kind of marking, and they were the favorites, that they were the ones that we want to go on a break with. But sadly, things didn't turn out how we wanted it to work.
Okay.
Yeah, but I mean, breaks went. I think Imon went on the break. Then Ahang went on the break after that. Then when we realized that it wasn't really going to plan, then we wheeled the breakaway back in and toward the start of the climb, just to get get Tony closer to the break.
Yep.
Yeah. Were we disappointed? Yeah, I would say we were a little bit disappointed at the result, because I think on paper, I think the team had more capabilities. But the reality is that it's a 40 km climb, and climbs it's quite statistical, I guess. You hit a watt per kilo.
So 40 kilometer climb.
Yeah.
It's a lot, right? But if you think about it in Singapore context, it's doing the whole Mandai loop, right? So up Thompson, across Mandai Road, down Woodlands Road, all the way back into town. That's 40 kilometers, right? So that's all climbing. That distance is pretty insane for a local Singapore boy to do, because it's like you never get to practice that ever. Yeah.
Yeah, and I guess climbs, if you're a climber, I mean, it's a watt per kilo thing, right?
Yeah, it's just a threshold at the right? And if your threshold's higher than the guy next to you, you're gonna do well.
Yeah. I mean, not trying to find excuses, but it is what it is. In a race like that, you can only do so much. I think my best takeaway was that, okay, I did my best.
Yeah.
Given the circumstances. Yeah. Disappointed, yes, but it is what it is.
So that's the
reality of the race.
Lessons learned on a race. What did you take? What's the biggest takeaway?
Well,
what would you do? Okay, if you do the race again, what would you do?
I don't think I would have done much things differently, because I think we were all at the best of our fitness.
Yeah.
The race was just on a climb that, I mean, maybe for Thomas, he's an S boy. He's training 11 hours a week.
Yeah.
But those guys are all 2-time pros. Yeah. They're racing throughout the year.
Yeah.
So there's nothing much more to
Yeah, it's like if you had all the races.
It is what it is.
And it's done this Tour de France this year, or like you go to the stage race and freaking Tadej Pogačar shows up, right? Like, what are you going to do, right? It's like you can do the best, even if you get your career best ride, you're still probably going to get beaten by someone better than you, right?
I think the guys who like top 8 were all like seasoned climbers, done multiple SEA games, multiple medals amongst them. So yeah, I mean disappointing, yes, we had high expectations, but we did our best within what resources we had in the lead up to the race. I think the Thais were like training in that area for like the past few months.
Yeah, they'll just roll up and then there's do intervals on their own hill, right?
Yeah. So I mean, this is that's the reality.
So you gave up full-time work to focus on this now, right? Now you've done the SEA Games. It's the end of the year. Are you going to go back to, or is this still new life?
Nah. I think I'm quite pragmatic about the reality of cycling in Singapore.
Yeah.
And I know my potential and capabilities.
Yeah.
I saw this as like a side quest kind of thing. Yeah, but I
And
ended up full-time.
the thing with athletics, like any in athletics, is that there is a time limit of when you can do it.
Yeah.
Like for me, I can't take a year off or live like a monk and compete with a 23-year-old, right? I'm just like physically too old now, right? But you're still quite young. You're still under 30 at the time. It's really now or never, right? Like if you wait 5 years, by the time you're 35, you're not gonna. Well, I'm not sure. You can still do it, but it's still hard, right? So every year that ticks by, the harder you get.
Yeah. I mean, I thought about it. I'm not gonna look back at 50 and like, oh man, I should have worked harder that year.
Yeah.
Earn more money, earn X amount of money. But yeah, I think just experience of representing the nation is something that I never thought I would be able to represent.
Yeah.
At this level. And yeah, I just have no regrets.
So no regrets. Taking a gap year.
No, it's been a time of my
Nice. So then 2026, are you gonna go back to full-time work?
Yeah, I've been studying apply for jobs, so we'll see where that takes me.
Okay.
But the priority will be on finding a full-time job and try to balance.
So are you already thinking about 2027 SEA Games and 2029 SEA Games in Singapore?
Well,
do you still want to stay on the team and push
I would like
as hard as you can get?
I will continue to train and do my best, but you know, I'll be happy if some younger boys that are developing well gets in the team. They're all the best. But if I feel there, I'll feel.
So do you think it's realistic to be able to fit in 20 hours of training with a full-time job?
Well,
Or 15 maybe?
I think you can always be smarter about how you train.
Yeah.
Less jog miles.
Yep.
Maybe you can't do 20, but maybe you can do 12 and you can do like really good quality 12-hour workouts. Yeah. I think that's affordable. I think you've seen it with guys like Boone or even the NS boys like Imon Domi. They're also working on time crunched hours and they are performing at a level that are better than most Singaporeans.
Yeah.
For probably doing long hours. So I think it's possible. Just really smart.
Yeah, that's the plan for you. You're just gonna try to do whatever you can do.
Yeah, I enjoy it. I think it's nice to have this new meaning in life. I think like before I started racing, I was like trying to find that identity.
Yeah.
Ride bikes. Like, so what?
Yeah.
Who cares about it?
Like 10,000 people riding bikes in the weekend, right?
Yeah, I mean different goals, different different needles for different folks. But I think this is something I enjoy doing. Yeah, I would love to continue.
So this year you've dedicated to training, right?
Yeah.
Would you do anything differently in this year? Do you think would you put more, like for example March, April, May will you train harder or do you think everything went to plan and you did?
I think this year has been one of the smoothest years for me. In terms of I wanted to I had some objectives and through the different years, I've been through the different months and there was Thailand, there was Net Champs, and then there was SEA Games. Everything went very smoothly for me.
Yeah.
I'm very thankful that through the Podium Decentralized program, I've been very appreciative that all this support has come in that has made all these things that are normally very complicated to deal with
Yeah, just one less thing to worry about, right?
Yeah, a lot less.
I think that's very underestimated or underappreciated is the time that the mental energy it takes to think about all this. Like you're doing it yourself, and you've got to organize, bikes and training and whatever. It takes mental energy, and that's just something that's not being focused on the training, right?
So like, I mean, I tied down my training with podium, so I tried that process, and bikes all taken care of by Attitude Bikes. I know like, okay, I got this problem. I don't have to last minute rush to a random bike shop who doesn't know me.
Yeah.
Who's gonna put my bike there for a week, then all that else. So it's just, I got a problem, I go to Walter.
Yeah.
He sorted out for me. And it's just one big hurdle also in mind. And I think as a rider, that's the best kind of support.
I think a lot of decent athletes, you get to a certain stage, maybe you ran cross country in high school or you're a decent athlete, they look at people like you or people like any other teams. If I did enough training, I could also be there, right? So you can't done that, right? You at the beginning of this year, you just said, okay, I'm going to dedicate this year to training, and then you got there, right? How much do you think of that is talents, and how much of it was just you're an old guy for a trade?
That's a very good question. I'm a very normal guy. I've been fit. I've been fit my whole life ish, but I've never been excellent at something. But I think past 2 years when I like kind of tied down and like set a goal, it's possible.
Yeah.
I mean, at our level, I wouldn't say it's pure. It's definitely not talent.
Yeah.
It's just setting in the consistent work, cleaning up the diet, all the small things.
Yeah.
And getting the work done.
Yep.
I mean, you can miss a week of training, you miss 2 weeks of training.
Yeah.
But throughout, the big goal is to just be consistent throughout the year.
It's like anybody dropped off of the Shaolin temple is going to become like a good martial art, right? Because just put in the work, do the training, follow the plan, have a good direction and realistic goals.
Yeah. I mean, it's fine to have like downtimes here and there, but as long as you figure yourself out and trust in the whole long-term plan,
Yeah.
I think that's important. Because I came from like, I rode with like middle-aged guys, they're WCR and they're just having fun. So I think it's very possible for any young athlete who wants to be part of this national system, right?
Yeah.
So
And wouldn't it be good if there were 30 kids that just put 20 hours a week into the training, and suddenly we got this, and then there's a real battle to get onto the team, like a really scrappy battle.
Yeah.
Because everyone's trying to go for those 5 spots, right?
Yeah, but I mean, 20 hours is a lot to ask for a kid. I mean, 15, 16-year-old kid is in secondary school.
Oh yeah, no.
What do you prioritize? Course or sports? And I think at the end of the day, you just need to do what you can for what amount of time you have. And I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
So if you're not enjoying it, you burn out very fast. I gotta be honest, I was kind of like burning out towards the end of the year. Yeah. Towards the start of CBNs, because there's been a long season since. Actually, my season didn't start this year. It started like way from last year.
Sure.
Because I've just been hammering it through the past years. Burnout is real. The mental aspect of things is quite important.
Yes. Do you think that because you're older athlete, your number of training years probably about the same as everyone on the team, right? But because you started a bit later, you're obviously older. But do you think that helps you being sort of a bit more mature, a bit older, and having a bit better life experience?
I think at 30, you don't have that much distractions in life.
Yeah.
I mean, it helped that I have a certain like base salary that I was saving from before, so I don't have to worry about the money portion, you must say. Then of course, I don't need to worry about making friends or
impressing anyone.
Yeah. But so all the small things, all the small distractions. Yeah, just kind of focus this year. I think that helps. But that's not to say, I think like road racing, it's a lot of small skills that you need to learn. It's not just a matter of fit.
It's just being in a bunch of 100 dudes, right? And bumping elbows.
It's got a nuanced sport that people who don't race won't really understand.
Yeah, you can do a group ride, 2x2 group ride in Singapore all day long, but you throw you into a race and no one's riding 2x2, no one's rotating, no one's doing anything. It's just everyone to themselves, right?
And I mean at the national field races, like in the UCI races, it's everyone is just 1-2 levels above you, and then colleagues above that.
Yeah.
And there's bike handling skills and bunch skills. Yeah, how to be most efficient in a peloton.
How not to get bullied in the breakaway.
Yeah. So a lot of small things that you need to pick up on. So I mean, I brought this up because you mentioned that I've had this amount of train time, probably the same as the national boys. But like really racing in a peloton, I'm still a little bit progress.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. So I mean, I love this experience because I get to learn from the older boys who have been through it all, and then the younger boys, they have more experience as me, so I look up to them as well. So it's pretty also.
Okay, a few more questions. Favorite race in Asia?
I kind of prefer 1-day races.
Okay.
Well,
Was that because it's over and done with at the end of the day, or is it because you feel like you have a better chance?
I think I'm a better 1-day racer. I'm not a GC guy.
Yeah.
So I mean, if I'm racing for myself, I prefer 1-day races. But well, honestly, there's not a lot of 1-day races around that are like at that level. I mean, there's those like Maybank races.
But those every band is always in those races, and
Like cousins or Grand Fondo riders. Nothing against that, but it's just not as controlled.
yeah.
But I think this year we did 12 Kadap. It's a 3-stage race in Kadap. That was a nice mix of challenging. It was a proper peloton.
Yep.
Mostly local Malaysian teams, but there was like MPC and all the Malaysian state teams, and they race at a proper level.
Yeah.
So I think it's at that level where it's challenging enough, like where I think Singaporeans we are capable of doing things in the peloton. So I think that's great. I don't want to be racing. So I think it's fine to race like certain high level races like Tour of Thailand, where you see the levels. But sometimes it's also a little bit difficult to do anything in the peloton.
Yeah.
And then to what that like
It's full gas all the time. You can't go fast on full gas, right?
so it's nice to have a mix of different levels of racing.
Yep.
So sometimes you just want to, if you can get in the break at like Tour of Kadao level, and then get into the finishing move, and that's a new experience that you wouldn't have gotten in a high level race.
Yes.
You're strong on the back.
Yeah. What sort of rider are you? If you describe the sprinter, climber, puncher, breakaway.
I think I'm a little bit more punchy, so like I'm not a sprinter for sure. So I like rolling road races. So anything around the region, Malaysia road races. Anything with like 2, 3, 5 minute climbs. Not too bad. Take of a decent 5-minute power. So I think the only way I can get into a racing mode is going to a break, because I can't win a bunch sprint. I can't win a sprint. So I would like to.
So I guess that's my next question. Is your breakout race or breakout performance your best result where you've? It doesn't have to be best result actually. Your breakout performance where you thought, okay, this is it. This is where I'm doing well now.
Okay. I would say this year's net champs.
Yep. You came third, right?
Yeah, I got that. Yeah. Wow. I mean, that was a race to remember, because, I mean, I never saw myself as a guy on the podium.
Is that your best performance ever? Like,
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
I mean, I've gotten podiums on like other like smaller races like Tour of Friendship. I mean, like all the other state races. But I think net champs is everyone's main goal.
Yeah.
Main A race for the year.
Yeah.
It's the only race in the racing calendar for the years. So yeah, I think that was my proudest achievement, especially how the break came about. Yeah. I mean, there was Boone, there was Thomas. So I mean, to be
It's a you cast the characters, right? And then there's like it turned out quite well to favor this time around.
yeah, I mean, to be with them.
Yep.
It's as a guy who's like trying to break it to just
Yep.
to stand on the same footing with them. And he's I was true.
Yeah. Cool. Shit. Best place to train.
If it's intervals and I have to do it outdoors, I like to do it at Paper. The jet door side.
Yeah.
Car seat side.
Or you can't really go down the steep sides.
Yeah,
it'd be a
So on the gentle side, 1, 2 sprints, I can do it there as well.
So if you're doing a 2-minute interval on Faber, we just ride up 2 minutes and then just turn around and roll down again, or
Yeah.
I know wherever it may be, you get to your number, you just turn around and go down again.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I think it's pretty controlled. I like I think I just want to feel safe when I'm doing intervals.
Yeah.
Cause I don't want to be, TMCR, sometimes there's big trucks, big rocks all over.
Yeah.
That scares me.
Yeah. Best cycling experience,
Wow.
including bikepacking, including anything.
Wow. I would say last year I did Grand Fondo Yunnan.
Okay.
The 5-stage race in the Yunnan province. Oh, that was beautiful.
Yeah. So at the end of the race, you're like, that was awesome.
Yeah, I mean, it was a lot of climbing, but I'm not a climber, but it was the best organized race. The Chinese really know how to organize a proper race. So I think Yunnan is beautiful. Good food. Yeah, I think everything was organized very well. Like, accommodation, the bus rides, the logistics. I was very impressed with that. Yeah. And it gave me an insight into how well organized races
Could be.
Yeah.
You get that.
Because like, I mean, not throwing shade, but like certain races like cool.
Yeah. I know. It's like at this point. Well, and no, it's also a budget thing, right?
Yeah.
You can only do as much as you have the budget for. So if that means you did a budget for a place on every corner, you do it, right?
They really had. And like, wow, in every switchback where there was a dangerous turn, there was a guy holding a flash to warn you, and I was like, what?
Yeah.
It's like 100 km of mountain roads, and they had volunteers to.
Oh wow.
So
That's why it's domestic areas, right?
Yeah. I think there was one stage where they said there was going to be a landslide, and that part of the road was blocked. But I think they set out the notification at Pan Pier, but they said don't worry, the race will continue because they're going to work through the night to clear the landslide.
No.
Wow. I was like, wow. Then by morning, I was like, they said no worry, it's all clear.
No.
It's smart.
Okay.
It's like 100% closed roads.
Yeah. Oh.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Okay. So what next for you? Are you just stay the course, keep training?
Yeah. I'll just stay the course. I'm just gonna find work, prioritize that 1st.
Mm-hmm. You need to sort of earn money again, but you need to find work, let that schedule sort of settle in, and then you can work out where the holes are with the training, right?
Yeah. So that'll be the new challenge. You're gonna get work, settle down, and fit all the training while still trying to be fit, very fit. So I think 2026 will be challenging. Yeah.
If you could do it all again, would you start earlier, or did you need those 10 years between 18 to 28 to mess around to becoming who you are, or just to work in your career, for example?
Oh, that's an interesting question. I think I wouldn't change anything because I think it comes with, like, starting at this age comes with quite a bit of privilege as well. Like, I don't need to worry about school. I don't need to worry about results.
Yeah.
I don't really need to worry about money at this point in time because I don't have any like big liabilities that I have to pay for.
And like, you don't really care as much about how your boss thinks, for example, right? Like when you're fresh out of college and your first job, you're kind of scared about everything, right? You don't know how the corporate world works. You don't know what your boss is going to say, all this sort of stuff.
Yeah.
But you get to a certain age and those things don't matter. They still matter, but they don't matter as much.
Yeah. So I think it was a nice sweet spot between everything. So yeah, I don't think I would have been able to cope with the demands if I were in school or if I were
Earlier.
studying work. So I think like the boys were still studying and like
Props to them.
Yeah. So I think I come.
So what would you tell? Okay, so what's the advice that you would tell yourself or to new riders that's just coming up?
I think cycling, racing, and if you want to talk about being pro, I don't know anything about being pro, but I just know that it's a harsh reality out there. It's brutal.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
And sometimes, I mean, as younger kids, they romanticize the idea of being a pro, but sometimes things are not as easy as it sounds.
Not everyone can be LeBron James, right?
Yeah,
But there's millions of people that want to be the next LeBron James, for example, right? And it's just by logic and reasoning that not everyone can be that way, right, Ash?
Yeah. Yeah, but it's a dilemma because sometimes I want to like encourage younger kids to pick up the sport, but at some point in time I also feel like, oh man, you should also focus on your studies too.
Yeah.
So I'm not a career, so try to find a middle ground.
Yeah.
Yeah, but know the big picture that education at the end of the day is still kind of important in Singapore, but
Well, for any athlete, they know that the athletic career is one big injury away from India, for example, right? If you don't have your education or you don't have your base, if you're just like dollars 2 bricks and you're just a really good cyclist, for example, you could just have one bad crash and then you just dollars 2 bricks. You don't know your cycles anymore, right? So
and not have that insurance package.
if you kind of. Okay. What's the best way to get a hold of you? Instagram, Dalvin_.
Cool. Wait.
Oh no, yeah, the Dalvin's
underscore, yeah.
I think the best way to get a hold of you.
Yeah, I think I'm pretty responsive on Instagram. Okay, otherwise you can WhatsApp.
Okay, I'm not going to give you a vote. Okay, Dalvin, thank you so much for coming by. All the best. Catch up again, okay?
Thanks for having me.
No worries.
Alright. Sure.